Hello viewers, welcome to Teacher Eligibility Test Training Program conducted by TSAT on behalf of State Government of Telangana. In this particular session, we are going to discuss TET Paper 2 Mathematics, Pedagogy and Content. As we know, for mathematics 30 marks are allocated, of which 24 marks will be for content part and 6 marks will be for pedagogy. Now, the first and the foremost question that come to our mind is why the government is conducting TET. Before going to answer this, first let us try to understand what are the things that we are going to cover in this particular session. Here, if we observe, we are going to discuss what is the syllabus and pedagogy related to mathematics, and also we are going to discuss some sample problems related to this. Now, let us go for the question, that is why TET is being conducted. Actually, we know that whenever TET exam is conducted, it brings national standards and also it is like a benchmark for teacher quality in the recruitment process. Of course, we know that teacher recruitment tests will be conducted at a later stage. For such recruitment tests, this exam will be like a benchmark. And of course, we know that earlier we have interviews in recruitment tests, but now they are replaced by the marks that are secured in this. As a matter of fact, you can observe that there are two significant points in this TET this time. First one is this particular time the TET validity is lifetime. Of course, as you know that earlier the validity is for only a limited period like 5 years, but now you have lifetime validity, that is one plus point. And second one is even BEd candidates are quite eligible for writing paper 1. Okay, that is also a phenomenal change in this. Okay, now further if we observe, if already the candidates will go through the training programs to enhance their performance levels, this TET exam is very much helpful. And further if we observe, ultimately we are connected with the stakeholders and the government is trying to send a positive signal to the stakeholders that government is emphasizing on teacher education and also it is giving utmost priority for education. These are the reasons due to which TET exam is conducted. Now, what is the schema of this? Let us see. As we know that the exam will be conducted for 150 marks and it contains 150 MCQs and the duration is 2.5 hours, that is 150 minutes. In this you can observe child development and pedagogy for 30 marks and 2 languages each for 30 and mathematics and sciences for 60 marks. In this particularly mathematics is for 30 marks, already we discussed 24 marks is for content and 6 marks is for pedagogy. Now, further if we observe what is the minimum qualifying mark. So, in general for the general candidates the pass percentage must be 60% and above, whereas for BCs it is 50% and above and for SC, ST and differently abled persons it is 40% and above. But remember, this is only the minimum qualifying mark, but when we are going to write teacher recruitment tests at a later stage, getting a good score in this TET is very essential. So, try to focus more and more because you have ample time. Like the exam is going to be conducted in the month of June, as you know. So, you have ample time. Always remember that a perfect plan and implementation or execution of the plan is more and more essential for success. Okay. So, day wise you have to schedule and accordingly you have to execute your plan so that you can come out with flying colors. Now, let us see what is the syllabus related to content in mathematics, because as we discussed in this session, we are focusing exclusively on mathematics for paper 2 and that too content as well as pedagogy. While coming to the content, we can see mainly 8 areas in this. One is number system, arithmetic, sets, algebra, geometry, mensuration, data handling and trigonometry. These are the main areas. So we know that content covers 24 questions and we have 8 areas. So in general, if you consider on an average from each area there is a scope of getting 3 questions. But of course, sometimes what happens is, depending upon the vastness of some areas, some more weightage will be given for certain areas and less weightage will be given for the other areas. When we go further, when we discuss these topics area wise, at that time we will see what are the areas where there is more emphasis and what are the areas where there is less emphasis. Now as we know, the first one is number system. While coming to number system, as we know, we have different kinds of number systems like natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rationals, irrationals, reals. These are all different number systems, and further we have different properties for them, and closure property, associative property, commutative property, identity, inverse, and related to all these things there is a scope of getting more and more questions. Further, if we observe, we have different types of numbers like even and odd, prime and composite, perfect numbers, cubes, cube roots, square roots, and the focus is to be on all these things. Just to observe, while coming to this number system, you can see prime and composites, tests of divisibility, and different number systems, fractions, and rational numbers and irrational numbers, their properties, real numbers. Further, LCM and GCD, of course it plays a very vital role in this. And further, if we observe, even you can see laws of exponents, and already we discussed squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. Further, number patterns, number puzzles, algorithm, say Euclid's division lemma, concept of logarithms. These are all the different areas. From these different areas, the questions will be framed. So as we know, division algorithm already we know. Just here you observe, in general we know that in the simple process of division we can see A is equal to B cube plus R. Here in this, A is dividend, B is divisor, Q is quotient, and R is remainder. Okay. And further, related to this R, we can observe that 0 less than or equal to R less than B. Starting from 0, we get the remainders 1 less than B, means it is like, suppose the divisor is 2, the possible remainders are 0 and 1, and when it is 3, we have possible remainders 0, 1, 2. When it is 4, we have 0, 1, 2, 3. Like this we have. And based on this, there is a scope of getting a question. I will give you a simple example. So 124 is equal to 12q plus R. Find the value of q plus R, q into R, q square plus R square. Anything can be asked related to this. First of all, we have to understand what is the relation between them. Here this is dividend, this is divisor. So simply go for ordinary division. It is a quick observation that 10 times 12 will give you 120 and 4 is the remainder. This is quotient. So q is equal to 10 and R is equal to 4. And based on this, the questions can be like whatever they ask, like q into R, q plus R, q square plus R square, whatever is asked, we can find out. Okay, this is one. And another is related to logarithms. Mainly in logarithms, we can see 3 main principles. First one is, if you consider log A plus log B is log ABR, we write the same as log AB is equal to log A plus log B. Of course, whenever we write log, by default the base is 10, and further you can observe this is log of A by B is equal to log A minus log B, and the third one is log A power m is equal to m into log A. Of course, you know these principles, and apart from this, sometimes like you have to understand log 2 base 8, find its value, suppose they gave. For this, the simple technique that you can adopt is, we know that log A base A is equal to 1, and log A power m base B power n is equal to m by n log A base B, and of course log 1 to any base the value is 0. These are the additional principles. If you know, it is very easy to solve this. You can see that this is log 2 cube. So it becomes 1 by 3 times of log 2 base 2. Here you observe, because A power m B power n is there, it is m by n, means the power of this will come to numerator and the power of this will come to denominator. So because here there power 1, so 1 upon 3 log 2 to base 2. We know that log A base A value is 1, that's why you can say 1 by 3 times 1 by 3. So like this, using the basic principles, you can solve the problems related to logarithms. Now let us see here some problems related to this. The first problem is given like this: 2022, because this year if they want to emphasize, they can give the questions like this. 2022 is equal to A power x into B power y into C power z. Here A, B, C are given prime numbers, then find the value of x plus y plus z or x into y into z. Okay, they are depending upon the question which they want to give. Here A, B, C are prime numbers means simply we have to understand that this is a problem related with prime factorization. So what are the prime factors for 2022? Just observe here. 2022, if you consider, it is 2 times of 1011, and of course it is clearly divisible by 3. Now most of the times here you people will get a doubt whether 337 is a prime number or not. For that, simply you choose the nearest perfect square. Okay, for 337 you can choose the next perfect square which is nearest to it. Okay, you can take 361, that is 19 square. Means you have to divide this 337 with all the prime numbers till that specific number. If it is not divisible by any of the prime numbers, then you can conclude that it is a prime number. Okay. So this is very, very helpful for identifying whether it is a prime number or not. Whenever you obtain some number, you have to confirm whether it is a prime number or not. You choose a number which is just next to it, a perfect square you select. You take its square root. For example, okay, for this one 361 is the perfect square and its square root is 19, and up to 19 what are the prime numbers we have? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, 17. Okay, you just try to divide with them. If it is not divisible by any of these prime numbers, then you can conclude that it is a prime number. It is a simple process. Now of course here easily you can say that 337 means units place is 7, so it is not divisible by 2. Further 7 plus 3, 10 plus 3, 13, so it is not divisible by 3. Because units place is not 5 or 0, it is not divisible by 5, and further it is not divisible by 11 because 11 means 3 into 11 is 33, and like you can observe 11 into 30 will become 330. So it is not divisible by 11 also. So like this, if you test, you can see that this is a prime number. So what are the prime numbers we obtained here? 2022 is equal to 2 into 3 into 337. So 2 power 1, 3 power 1, 337 power 1. So x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1 and z is equal to 1. You are asked to find x plus y plus z. So 1 plus 1 plus 1, that is how you can say it is 3. Okay. This is the way in which we can solve the problems of this model. Okay. Now let us go for one more. Now here you observe again, among the following pairs, a pair of numbers which can't be HCF and LCM respectively of any two given numbers. So we don't know actually what are the two given numbers. In general, we know the relation that whenever two numbers are given, the product of the two numbers is equal to LCM into HCD. We know that LCM into HCD or HCF is equal to product of numbers. This is what we know. But here that principle you cannot use for solving this problem. Then how do we solve this? Actually the logic here is, you observe, for example I am taking two numbers A and B and let their HCF be some k. Then A is equal to some kx and B is equal to ky. So already we know that HCF is k. Now what is their LCM? Observe, it is kxy, where x and y are relatively prime, means their HCF is 1. Now you observe these two, HCF is k, LCM is kxy. Clearly you can observe that k is a divisor of kxy, means HCF must be a divisor of LCM, means LCM is a multiple of HCF or HCM is a divisor of LCM. Just by using this we are going to solve that problem. Now you observe the first one, 13, 182. So clearly you can observe that 182 is divisible by 13. 1 13s are 13, 52 4 times. So 13 into 14 is 182. Likewise 8 408 you observe, it is 51 times. 8 is a divisor of 408, 51 times. Likewise you can observe this 7 and 840. 1 7s are 7, 14, 2 7s are 14, 0, 120 times. So 7 times 120 is 840. But this 6 and 136 you observe. Here clearly you can see that 6 is not a divisor of 136. So that's how you can say that this is the correct answer. Means that is the pair which cannot be HCF and LCM, because so from the above discussion we understand that HCF must be a divisor of LCM, but here for this particular pair it is not happening. So that cannot be the answer, right? This is the way in which we can understand this. Now let us go for the next one. Yeah, now let us consider the next one. Here such type of problems also will be given more frequently. 4.2 power x is equal to 0.42 power y is equal to 100. Then what is the value of 1 by x minus 1 by y? Here you observe 4.2 power x. Here just if you consider 4.2 power x is 100 means 10 square. Okay. So 4.2 is equal to 10 power 2 by x. Likewise 0.42y if you take, 0.42 power y is equal to 10 power 2. So from this we can observe that 0.42 is equal to 10 power 2 by y. So here this is like equation 1 and this is 2. We can observe that in the first one it is 4.2, in the second one it is 0.42. So to make it 4.2 you multiply both sides with 1. So 10 you multiply. Then what happens here? 0.42 into 10 will become 4.2 and right side it is 10 to the power of 2 by y plus 1. A power m into a power n is a power m plus n. Now you observe equation 1 and equation 2. 4.2 is equal to 10 to the power of 2 by x and 4.2 is equal to 10 to the power of 2 by y plus 1. Of course, we know that when bases are equal, equate powers. So, simply equate powers. Then what do we observe? 10 to the power of 2 by x is equal to 10 to the power of 2 by y plus 1. So, equate the powers. So, 2 by x is equal to 2 by y plus 1. So, you bring it this to the left hand side, then you are going to get it like 2 by x minus 2 by y is equal to 1. You take 2 common, 1 by x minus 1 by y is equal to 1. So, what else? 1 by x minus 1 by y is equal to 1 by 2. This is the way in which more comfortably we can solve the problems of this model. Here you can see this 1 by 2 is the answer here. Okay. I hope all of you understood this, right. This is the way in which we can solve the problems related to this. Now, let us go for one more problem. Here, of course, Pythagorean triples, this is one of the more and more important things. We know that in a right angle triangle, square of hypotenuse is equal to sum of squares of other two sides. But while coming to this, how do you decide? If the square of any one number is equal to sum of squares of other two sides, then sum of squares of the other two numbers, then we can say that it is a Pythagorean triplet. For example, you observe 3, 4, 5. 3 square plus 4 square is equal to 5 square. 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16, 5 square is 25. So, 9 plus 16 is equal to 25. So, likewise you can see 5, 12, 13. 5 square is 25 plus 12 square is 144 is equal to 13 square is 169. And likewise 8 square is 64, 15 square is 225, 225 plus 64 is 289, which is 17 square. So, in case of the third one, 9, 10 and 11, it is not possible, because 9 square is 81, 10 square is 100, 11 square is 121. You take those three, you add any two combinations, just you observe here. We know that 9 square is 81, 10 square is 100 and 11 square is 121. You add any two, you do not get the third. 81 plus 100 is 181, which is not equal to 121. If you add 100 and 121, you get 221, which is not equal to 81. So, you go for any combination, sum of 2 will not give you the third. That is why you can say that it is not a Pythagorean triplet. Okay. This is the way in which easily we can. Of course, here these are few examples, as we discussed. Mainly you have to focus on LCM and HCF, and also we have to focus on Euclid's division lemma and also logarithms. These are some of the areas where you have to focus a little bit more. Now, the next area is like arithmetic. As you know, arithmetic means we know that ratio and proportions, simple interest, compound interest, time and work, time and distance, discount, tax, profit and loss. So many things are there. Mainly the focus will be on discounts, percentages, profit and loss, interest. On such type of things, there is a scope of getting more and more questions. Now, let us see few questions so that we will understand what type of questions will be asked. The first problem you observe, it is given like this. If the price of a cooker including 5% VAT is rupees 2940, then its price before adding VAT is. Here 2 points we have to understand. One is 5% is VAT and the price after adding VAT is 2940. How do we solve this? Let us see. Now, first of all, amount after adding is 2940 and VAT is given 5%. Most of the times here in general the mistake which we do is directly we try to find 5% on 2940 and then we subtract that amount and we feel that that is the correct answer, but be a little bit more careful in this. Here you have to understand that initially suppose the amount is x, okay, on this 5% VAT is added. So, plus 5% of x, this will become 2940. X means it is 100% of x plus 5% means it simply will become 105% of x is 2940. So, what else? 105% means 105 by 100. So x is equal to 2940 into 100 upon 105. So of course you know that this is 25s are 100 and 21 5s. And okay, further 21 here, 121s are 21, then 8 84, 4 21s are 84, 0. So now simply you go for the product. 2 into 14 is 28 and 2 zeros are there. So we can observe that 2800 rupees is the price of that article before adding VAT. If you calculate directly, you get it some other value. So be a little bit more careful about such type of problems. Don't go for it in a hurry manner and don't try to apply, because especially while coming to percentages, the value on which value you are applying, always the percentage amount it will be like 10%, 5%, but 10% of 100, 10% of 200 are different. So on which number the percentage is acting, that is more and more crucial, right? So be a little bit more careful when you are handling with the problems related to percentages, right? Now let us see one more question. Here it is given like 25% of 25% of 25% of x is 25. Then what is the value of x? This is one more type of question. Most of the times the problems will be given like 25% means it is given like 25% of 25% of x is 25. 25% means 25 by 100, half means into, again 25 by 100 into 25 by 100 into x is 25, right? Now what else? 25 by 100 means we know 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 into 1 by 4 into 1 by 4 is 1 by 64. 4 4 is 16, 16 4 is 64 times x is 25. So x is equal to 25 times of 64. 25 4s are 100, 10, 25 6 are 150, 150 plus 10, 160. That's so you can see that the value of x is 1600. Now let us check whether we have this in the options or not. Let us see. Yeah, the first option is 1600. Okay, that's how you can solve the problems of this model. Right. Now let us go for one more problem. Let us see. Here this is a problem related with ratios. Okay, most of the times in social studies also you will see the scale of a map is given 1 is to 30,000. If two cities are 4 centimeter apart in the map, then what is the actual distance between them? Here how do we solve this? As it is given, the ratio is 1 is to 30,000. Okay, so it is given in centimeter, means originally outside the distance is 1 centimeter in the map. This is the distance in the map, and this is the distance outside or real distance. It is 30,000 centimeter. We know that 1 centimeter is equal to like if you want to convert it into meters, 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter. Okay, so first you can do it like this, or directly you calculate. If suppose in the map it is 4 centimeter, what is the distance? So it is a direct calculation. 30,000 into 4 is 1,20,000 centimeter. Now if you want to convert it into meters, so we know that 1 meter is equal to 100 centimeter, means 1 centimeter is equal to 1 by 100th part of a meter. Means in this here 2 zeros will be cancelled. So you get 1200 meters. Means it is 1,20,000 into 1 by 100. Okay. Again further if you want to convert it into kilometer, we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1000 meters. So 1 meter is equal to 1 by 1000th part of a kilometer. So it is again 1200 by 1000 kilometer. So you can see that it is 1.2 kilometer. So be a little bit careful while doing these conversions. It is simply related with conversions. Now let us see whether we find this in our options or not. Just you can see 1.2 kilometer is existing in that. You observe the options also carefully. It is somehow related with whether you are making the conversions properly or not. They want to test. That's why they gave 1.2 kilometer, 1.2 meter. Actually, you obtained it 1.2 kilometer. Okay. So, after doing the calculation also, while selecting the option, we should be little bit careful, otherwise there is every scope of going something wrong in it. There is every scope of missing something. So, be a little bit more careful about this part. Okay. Right. Further you observe, here one more question is given like this. A shopkeeper marks his goods 20% above the cost price and allows a discount of 10% on them. Then what is his gain percent? In general, most of the times we feel that okay, 20% is market price and 10% is discount, so 10% is the profit. But actually it is not like that. So let us see. When we are doing such type of problems, it is better to take it like okay, quickly if you want to do this, take cost price as 100 rupees, then market price will be 20% above this. So for 100 rupees it will be 100 plus 20% of 100 is 20 rupees. So it will be 120 rupees. Now discount is 10%. Here the interesting point you have to understand here is discount 10% on what? Discount is always calculated on market price. This is very, very important. So discount is 10% of 120. So 10% of 120 means 10 by 100 into 120. It is a very simple calculation. You can see it is 12 rupees. Now you observe here 12 rupees is the discount. So what is the selling price? Market price minus discount. Market price is 120 minus discount is 12, means 8 rupees is the profit, right? Means actually here if you consider, here total is 108, 120 minus 12 is 108. From this you can say profit is 8 rupees. How can you say? Because initially we started with cost price 100 rupees. Because it is 100, directly you can say percentage of profit is 8%. I think you understood why did I take 100, because whatever I get directly I can say in the form of a percentage. That is the advantage of selecting cost price like 100. So here clearly you can see it is 8%, means market price we obtained 120 rupees and discount is 12 rupees. So 120 minus 12 is 108. But cost price is 100, so 8 rupees is the profit, because a percentage means per 100, because already cost price is 100 rupees we took. So directly you can say 8% is the profit percentage, right? It is a very simple problem. But remember again here, if you, these are all such kind of problems that there will be like some small trap. Like if you are like 20%, if you calculate on 100, and what happens here? 10% of 100 if you calculate it is 10. So 120 minus 110 is 10, so 10%, like there is every scope. Here you should be careful about this part. Discount is always calculated on market price. This is very important in this. So always conceptually what are the minimum points where you have to focus on, such things they will try to test. This is very, very crucial or important. Okay. So in the exam hall, presence of mind is more important. Then it will be very much easy for us to solve the problems of this model, right? Now let us see one more question related to this, right? Now like this we can solve the problems related to arithmetic. Then while coming to sets, actually here the sets and trigonometry are the two topics which are included this time. You don't find these topics earlier. Like in sets, if you observe, set notations means conversion from like one form to the other, set builder form to roster form to set builder form. Then types of sets like empty set, finite set, infinite set, then cardinality, and again you can see the relations. Set operations, we have operations, mainly three operations: union, intersection and difference. Only we have three operations. Now what are the relations? Now let us see. If we are talking about these things, we can say related to cardinality, n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B. This is one relation, and the another one is n of A union B is equal to n of A minus B plus n of B minus A plus n of A intersection B. And here even if you observe like the Venn diagram, if you take for this, this is A, this is B. Of course, you can see this entire thing is mu. Now, set A you denote with horizontal lines. This complete thing is set A region, and set B completely denote with vertical lines. So, intersection means common part. What is common in both? Clearly you can see the region which contains both the types of shadings, horizontal as well as vertical. So, this is the region which is A intersection B. And what about this only horizontal lines region? This entire thing is A, and only horizontal lines is A minus B, or this is also known as A minus of A intersection B, or this is also known as only A. All the three are same. We call it only A or A minus B or A minus A means total minus of A intersection B. In the same manner, only vertical lines region if you take, you have names like only B. This is only for the vertical lines, and then you can see B minus A, or even you can call it B minus of B intersection A. Okay. These regions and related to this, the cardinality and all the problems will be given. If once you understand this, then it is very easy for us to solve the problems related to these sets, because you have only limited operations, union, intersection and difference of sets. Further, if we observe, like you should have some terminology related with these sets like finite set, infinite set, and cardinality. Cardinality will be always given only for a finite set, and sometimes suppose A is subset of B, subset concept. A is subset of B means set A is inside and set B is outside, and suppose we are considering the universal set. Now what happens here, you observe what is their intersection? A intersection B will be the smaller set. So, A will become the A intersection B, and A union B will become B. So, when one set is subset of the other, then smaller set will become the common region. If you want, okay, let us consider the same in the way in which we discussed earlier. For A we are going for horizontal lines, and set B denote with vertical lines. You can see that common region means the entire set A is in the common region now. Okay, entire set A is common region. So, A intersection B is A, and union means the entire whole region. So, it is set B, larger set is this. Okay, and further one more is like, suppose by any chance two sets are no, they are not having any common elements, we call them disjoint sets. So, in such a case, there is a scope of asking the question like, suppose A and B are disjoint sets, that is A intersection B is a null set, means at that time the Venn diagram will be like this. The simple example for this is like 2, 4, 6, I am taking even numbers here, and here I am taking odd numbers. And we know that for even numbers and odd numbers we do not have any common. So, this is set A, this is set B. What is their intersection? It is a null set. So, already we discussed the formula like n of A union B is equal to n of A plus n of B minus n of A intersection B in general. But in this particular case, what happens? A intersection B is a null set, means n of A intersection B will become 0. So, this part will not be there. So, n of A union B is equal to simply n of A plus n of B. But remember, this is only a conditional statement. This is true or holds good or applicable whenever this condition is there. Okay? So the problems can be related something related to this. Now let us see few questions related to these sets. Here the first problem is given like this: let A and B be any two sets, then which of the following is false? So the first one is given like A minus of A intersection B is A minus B. Already I explained you this. A minus B, from set A we have to subtract here, just concentrate or focus on this set A, set B. This is mu. Set A means this. From this you have to subtract B, means this intersection part. This is intersection part. This is the part which we have to remove. Means he is talking about only A or A minus B or A minus of A intersection B. Already I discussed this. This is the region. Okay. He is asking this relation between these two. A minus B and A minus A intersection B both are same. So clearly we can see that it is true. First one is true. The next one is A minus B union A intersection B is equal to A. Again you observe here, this is A minus B, and of course we know this is A minus B and this is A intersection B. What is the union of these two? A minus B union A intersection B. Here this region is A minus B region and this is A intersection B region. Both put together will give you A. So that is also true. Clearly you can see, right? Likewise you can see A minus B and B minus A. A minus B means only A, B minus A means only B. Only A and only B will not have any common elements. So they are disjoint sets. Clearly you can say that it is a null set. But the last one you observe, A minus B union A is equal to B. So that is false. So actually whenever you are like completely understood the Venn diagram and the regions, notations, then only you could be able to solve the problems of this model. So be a little bit more careful about such kind of things, right? Now this is one more question, like set of all points on a circle and B is set of points on the straight line passing through C. Then what is A intersection B? So clearly you can see that a circle and a line will have 2 points common. So answer is 2. Now related to algebra. Related to algebra mainly what are the things means you must be familiar with linear equations in two variables, quadratic equations and progressions. These are the major areas which you must be familiar with. While coming to linear equations, you should know consistent equations, inconsistent equations and dependent equations. And quadratic equations means you should know the nature of roots and also how to solve a quadratic equation when roots are given, how to write a quadratic equation when sum and product are given, how to write quadratic equation, like this. And polynomials also, what is the relation between coefficients and zeros. Like let us go for some examples related to this. Here you are given two linear equations, 3x plus by plus a is equal to 0 and ax minus 2y plus 12 is equal to 0. Both of them will represent the same straight line. Both of them will represent the same straight line means what does it mean? They are coincident lines. Coincident lines means what is the condition? A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 is equal to C1 by C2. So clearly you can see that 3 by A is equal to B by minus 2 is equal to A by 12. So you take first and last, A square is equal to 36. A square is equal to 36 means clearly you can see A is equal to plus or minus 6. Okay, suppose if I take A is equal to 6, then 3 by 6 is B by minus 2. Of course, we know that this is 1 by 2. After cross multiplication, you can see 2b is equal to minus 2 and b is equal to minus 1. Here you may get a doubt, what happens if minus 6 is taken, then also it becomes b is 1. Now you are asked to find a square plus b square. A square is 36 and b square is 1. So a square plus b square is 36 plus 1, 37. Okay, this is the way in which we can solve the problems of this model. I think you understood, like the conditions mainly in this, you have to understand the conditions. If you know the conditions, then easily you can solve the problems of this model. Okay. Now Geometry is one more area which is very vast. Like you have lines and angles, triangles, quadrilaterals, circles, constructions, properties, Pythagoras theorem, basic proportionality theorem. So many areas are there in this. Of course, already you know all these things. Now let us see few problems related to this. Right, the first one is given like this. This is a very basic question, very fundamental question, but whenever you are very much strong in the geometry part, then only you can answer this. If A, B, C are any 3 points of a plane, then which one of the following is not possible? Right, you observe here, AB plus BC is equal to AC. You obtain that only when the 3 points are collinear. And AB plus BC greater than AC means the 3 points form a triangle, means you are getting a triangle with those 3 points. And it is a simple logic that whenever we consider any 3 points in a plane, either AB plus BC is greater than AC or AB plus BC is equal to AC, means either you get a, means what are the possibilities? Maybe the points are collinear, maybe the points are not collinear. If the points are collinear, they lie on a straight line. If the points are not collinear, they form a triangle. These are the only 2 possibilities. So AB plus BC greater than AC or greater than or equal to AC or is equal to AC, but you never get less than AC. So that is the option you have to choose. You are asked to find not possible. Which is not possible means AB plus BC never become equal to AC. Likewise, this is also one more basic concept. Here you are given like the angle formed between angular bisectors of a pair of linear angles. Why these type of problems will be given means they want to test you the basic concepts. So many basic concepts are included in this. You observe, the first one is you should know what is a linear pair. When we are considering a straight line and 2 angles are existing on this, suppose this is some C, point P is here, and you can see that here there are 2 angles, and okay, sum of these 2 angles you name them like some x and y. So angle x plus angle y is equal to 180 degrees. This is from the concept of linear pair. Now here I am going for angular bisector of this. This total angle is x, means bisector means make into 2 equal parts. So x by 2, x by 2. Likewise, bisector if you draw for this, this will become y by 2, y by 2. Now you are asked to find the angle between these 2 bisectors, means this is the angle which you want, means you want angle x by 2 plus angle y by 2 is how much? We know that angle x plus angle y is 180. So here this is half of angle x plus angle y. So half of 180, that is 90. So you can remember this like a standard result. Whenever we are considering the angular bisectors for a linear pair of angles, it is always a right angle. It is always true. So whenever you are preparing for the exams, you just identify some standard results. I will give you one more, like suppose we are considering a triangle, like bisectors are drawn for this. Now this angle is given, suppose say some 40 degrees, then what will be this angle? How are you going to get this? Then suppose this is A, this is B, this is C. Clearly you can see angle B plus angle C is equal to 140 degrees, and this will become B by 2 and this will become C by 2. You want this angle. So angle BPC is equal to 180 minus of angle B by 2 plus angle C by 2, and 180 minus of B plus C is 140, means this is 180 minus 70, half of that. So you can see 110. But how can you remember this? Means if you solve this problem theoretically, you can see that it is always 90 plus half of angle A. When angular bisectors are drawn for the interior angles of a triangle, this is a standard result. Likewise, you can take one more. The same thing, suppose the sides are produced and the angular bisectors are drawn for this. At that time, you can say that this is 90 minus half of angle A. Okay. Likewise, while coming to circles, suppose when you draw tangents. So we know that tangents are equal that is the first point, and radius and tangent, the angle is 90. So this angle and this angle are always supplementary. So you can see that angle x plus angle y is always 180 degrees. So they will focus on such kind of specific points and they will try to pose questions related to that. So if we are thorough with it, so you have to prepare a small notes like the key points whenever you are coming such kind of generalizations in your preparation. You just note down the points, all such key points are with key diagram. Simply whenever you see the diagram you have to recollect that result. So simply no need for us to write all the things, draw the diagram, write the result. Whenever you see the diagram you have to recollect that result. Like that if you practice, then it will be fine. Means compulsory whenever you are sitting for your preparation, you keep a separate notebook like the important formulae, important concepts, such kind of generalizations. You just note down them separately and you can solve the problems very quickly and easily when you can make use of them. Right. Now let us go for one more, like here you see this is one more. As we discussed earlier, we know that exterior angle of a triangle is always equal to the sum of interior opposite angles. Here exterior angle is given, interior angles ratio is given. Okay. So 2x plus 5x is equal to 105, means 7x is 105, means what is the value of x now? You observe x divides 105 how many times? Here clearly you can see you have to divide 105 with 7, 1 7 are 7, 35, 5, 15 times. So 2 into 15 is 30 degrees, 5 into 15 is 75, and the other angle is 105 minus like 180 minus 105 you can say, that is also 75. So the angles are 30, 75, 75. So such type of problems you can do very easily and quickly, and this is the problem. It is a straight question from basic proportionality theorem. Means already I told you, whenever you find a line parallel to one side of the triangle, it divides the other two sides in the same ratio. Related to this, already I have shown you in the like record the lesson that is telecast earlier, especially related to this geometry part, that 6 different ratios can be written from this. So be thorough with, and you note down and be thorough with them. Then one more important area is mensuration. This is very important, because the problems will be given related to 2-dimensional figures, 3-dimensional figures, and you have plenty of formulae in this. So related to 2-dimensional figures you have so many formulae, related to 3-dimensional figures so many formulae. So suppose when you are talking about a cylinder, what are the dimensions? Net shape, if you cut and open, what is the net shape, and how do we find the area, what is the difference between curved surface area, total surface area and volume. So in general this is one more which you must know. Lateral surface area or curved surface area is excluding bases. If base areas are included, that will become total surface area. And while coming to the combination of solids, at that time simply we use the term surface area. Surface area means only the external. Suppose a cone is mounted on a hemisphere, so surface area of hemisphere plus surface area of cone. While coming to a cylinder, basically we have only two measurements, radius and height. For a cone we have three, radius, height and slant height. Of course, if we know radius and height, or out of those three any two measurements, we can find the third again using Pythagoras theorem. All such key points, formulae, you note down in a separate book, already specified earlier also, and daily morning you just go through them once. No need to by heart all the formulae on day one itself, because you have ample time, more than 1 month time is there. You just while preparing you note down all the formulae on 1 or 2 pages, all the key concepts, important generalizations, and daily whenever you find time you just go through it once and leave it. Means like this, if you do it on a regular basis, nearly you are doing it for more than 45 days. So obviously they will be registered in your mind. This is one way of remembering the things. At regular intervals you are giving your brain to register the points. Okay, if you go for it, easily you can deal with this mensuration. Mensuration is very easy part, so there is no much difficulty in dealing with this. So you see one problem, 3 cubes whose edges measure 3, 4 and 5. They are melted and made into a cube, and find the edge of the new cube. How do we do this? A simple thing. Whenever one solid is melted and made into the form of other solid, then we can say volume of solid melted is equal to volume of solid or solids made, provided there is no loss during the process, right? Like this we can solve this problem. So easily you can observe that x cube is equal to 3 cube plus 4 cube plus 5 cube. Like that, if you solve, you can get the solution. This is a very straight question. Okay, the only point that you have to remember here is volume of solid melted is equal to volume of solid or solids made. Okay, related to this we can solve the problems. Likewise, if you come to the data handling or the statistics, in data handling mainly you have two things that you have to go for. One is in data handling you have to talk about mean, median and mode, that is one, and another one is you have to talk about probability. So that is also one of the most important areas. So be thorough with the concepts of probability. In probability also you will come across the problems related to the problems will be like related to coins, dice and all. So once you are thorough with them, it's not much difficult for you to solve the problems related to this. Okay, this is what you can observe related to this. Okay, then after that we can just talk about one more, that is algebra. Algebra already we discussed, and mensuration, almost all the areas. Trigonometry, as you know, trigonometric ratios are important. And while coming to pedagogy, mainly you have to understand the pedagogy related with high school students at this stage, and some more points which we have to there is a possibility of asking you like, what are energized textbooks? Already all of us know what are textbooks, but there is a scope of asking the questions like, what are energized textbooks? We know that QR codes are inserted in the textbooks. If the child or the teacher will scan the QR code, they will get digital content related to this, and the textbooks with that digital content and QR codes are termed as energized textbooks. This is one point which you must know. And one more important point related to pedagogy you should learn is inclusive education, because utmost priority is given for inclusive education. So you have to focus even on that. What is inclusive education? Giving priority for all the students and bringing all the children into one streamline. Okay, why, what are the uses, what are the advantages, and suppose any deaf or dumb student is there, how to teach him, how to assess him, all those things you should be familiar with related to pedagogy. Even NEP 2020 also, earlier it was 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern, now it is 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 pattern. You have to means these are the current topics related to education, so you should be familiar with this. So as we discussed earlier, mainly we can see that we discussed the points related to content, we discussed the points related to pedagogy. Whenever you sit for your preparation, you just keep a notebook separately, and whatever the key points you feel, you just make a note of it and daily go through it once, so that it will be easy for you to remember it, because whatever you learn today you have to remember it for, and of course not only for this time. This preparation even will be helpful when you go for the recruitment process at a later stage. I hope all of you will follow these things and you come out with flying colors. Okay, all the best to all the participants. Thank you.